Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. I hope all of you are fine and doing well. So, topic here that we will discuss today it is the manufacturing of steel. Before the manufacturing of the steel, you guys must know that what is basically the steel. Steel is basically an alloy of iron, and in this alloy of iron, here we have the percentage of iron that just differ according to the type of the steel. As we have already discussed three types of the steel, in which the first one we was having the mild steel, then we have the medium carbon steel, and then the third one was the high carbon steel. So it all just depends upon the percentage of carbon which is present in that type of steel. Now, how do we be able to manufacture that steel? Basically, there are two processes for the manufacturing of the steel. We have along the construction of the steel, the main percentage of iron plus percentage of carbon and along with some traces of manganese, sulfur and phosphorus are also present in it. Let's start the preparation of or manufacturing of the steel. So here the steel can be manufactured by the use of two processes. The number one process is called as open hearth process, in which we use the cast iron, wrought iron, or the steel scrap. And the second one method is Bessemer's process, in which we just use only the cast iron. So there are some other processes that are used to prepare the special type of steels from the pure wrought iron. So it all just depends upon that what type of steel we just want to prepare, that if we want to prepare the high quality of the steel or we want to prepare the low quality of steel. It just depends upon the type of process and what type of the reactant or what type of the main substance we have as a starting material for its preparation. So we have to choose the process for its preparation very carefully. For this purpose, we will start the first process for the manufacturing of the steel, which is called as the open hearth process. This process is called as open hearth process. Now, what are the main steps in this process? First of all, we have the furnaces with acidic lining like silicon dioxide. It is used when the impurities like manganese and silicon are being present in the substance. So, this is the most modern method for the manufacturing of the steel. It is basically carried out in an open hearth furnace. As the name, it is open hearth furnace. So the apparatus that we use for this purpose is also an open hearth furnace. So the main benefit of using that open hearth furnace is that it is having low roof, and that low roof is just helpful to reflect all the gases that are produced as an impurity, and all that gases are highly hot gases, and they just flames downward to melt the charge. So that open hearth process just use the open hearth furnace that just work on the principle, and the principle over there that we use it is the regenerative principle. Regenerative principle that just helpful for the heat economy. So the open hearth process is mainly having the main two types. The first one type of the furnace is having the its acidic lining like silver silicon dioxide. It is just used for the impurities like manganese and silicon. And the second type we have the furnace with the basic lining like dolomite, calcium oxide, and magnesium oxide. It is used when the impurities of phosphorus and sulfur are being present over there. Now, what is the process that how do we be able to use that furnace? So here we have the picture of the open hearth furnace that is used for the preparation of the steel. Now, in the first step, we just have to pour the mixture of the cast iron, scrap iron. We are just pouring here the cast, scrap, and the wrought iron in it. When they just both poured out or they are being charged, then we have to add over there a quick lime. Then about the temperature that we have to keep, it is almost 1600 degrees Celsius. Both the substances which are present over there are like silicon, manganese, carbon, and sulfur. They are burnt out and they will be removed out at all temperature. After this, how do we be able to use this process? Here you can see that we have the charge of the hot air from there, and the hot gases are being again used for this process. And here the molten steel that we gain in the pure form, and here we have the slag which are the impurities present in it, they will be removed over there. And here is the passage of the hot gases, and they are again over and over being used in this process. And from the top we have the blast of air and the hot air. So the charge that we have to keep over there, it will be kept in this open hearth process. Now what type of the chemical reactions are being involved in this process? So the first one, here we have the carbon. When we have the blast of hot air, there is a production of the carbon monoxide. If the silicon is present, it gets reacted with the oxygen and produces silicon dioxide. And when manganese, by combining with the oxygen, produces manganese oxide. Now the carbon monoxide that is prepared, it must be escaped in the flue gases, and the silica which is prepared, silicon dioxide, it combines with the calcium oxide, which is the quick lime charge that we have provided. Manganese oxide and iron oxide, they will form the silicates like slags, and they will float on the surface of the molten metal and they will be removed. So this is the slag formation in which the silicon dioxide is going to be react with the calcium oxide, manganese oxide, and iron oxide, and they are producing these impurities which are called as slags, and they will be removed. At the end, the phosphorus and the sulfur which are being present in it, they will react with the iron oxide, which is the hematite and ore of iron. They will form the phosphorus pentaoxide and sulfur dioxide respectively. Iron oxide going to react with the sulfur, produces sulfur dioxide as a gas, and reacting with the phosphorus producing phosphorus pentaoxide, and here the iron we gain. Now these oxides that are formed in this process, they will react with the calcium oxide, which is a quick lime. They will form again the slag as impurities. So calcium oxide, on reacting with the potassium or the phosphorus pentoxide, it produces the calcium phosphate, which is an important fertilizer and can be used for the different production of the crops, as well as the silicon dioxide by combining with calcium oxide produces calcium sulfate. So this was a simple topic for the production of the steel we have. I hope you guys understand, and if you have any queries, you may ask me about that in the comment section and I will get back to you guys soon. The next topic that we will discuss, it is the Basmer process for steel manufacturing in detail. I hope you guys understand, and best of luck.